The influence of drugs and alcohol on student success and mental well-being.
Studies show that a very large percentage of high school students take part in illegal activities such as the use of illicit drugs and underage drinking as common pastimes. It has been proven that the excessive use of such substance can affect the grades and mental well-being of students. 153 CCI students in ranging grade levels completed a survey on comparing the use of alcohol and drugs with mental well-being and academic success. In order to get an accurate representation of the school, an effort was made to survey each grade equally as well as their academic levels. Drug and alcohol usage among the students of CCI were also scored by using an index by asking how often one drinks alcohol, how often one uses marijuana, and the number of illegal substances students have used and how often. The maximum score is 18. As the histogram shows, the majority of those surveyed do not use drugs or alcohol often or at all. The graph is clearly skewed to the right. The mean is 4, the mode is 1, the minimum value is 0, Q1 is 1, the median is 3, and the Q3 value is 6. This data shows that CCI students overall engage in a moderate amount of drug and alcohol usage. The most accurate way to represent the whole population of this data would be to look at the mean. This is because the graph is skewed to the right, so the frequency is highest at the low range. Therefore, using the median value would not be helpful. Social and mental well-being of the CCI students were found by asking them to rate their home life, their overall happiness, their social life, and whether they are religious or not. We chose to add in religion as an aspect of mental well-being because studies show that those who practice religion tend to be happier with themselves and life.
As you can see on our histogram, there is a left skew, meaning that the majority of those surveyed have a happiness and mental well-being score below 20. The highest that could have been scored on the index was 27.5, which was achieved by a few of the respondents. Of the students surveyed, a large majority of students have tried alcohol, with a staggering percentage of 82.4%, while 17.6% have never tried alcohol before. According to an American study, 83% of grade 12s drink alcohol, and 60% of teenagers have had at least one drink. As you can see on this pie chart, the majority of the student population surveyed at CCI have never tried marijuana. However, a surprisingly large percentage have, at 45.8%. A Canadian survey conducted in 2012 concluded that 37.5%.
In Canada, as marijuana is projected to become legalized in the next few years, this will have a great impact on how accessible it is to teenagers. It may be similar to as when teenagers drink underage in that the laws become more lenient towards underage smoking. However, marijuana can cause serious effects on adolescents' brains since they are not fully developed. They can cause impaired thinking and short-term memory loss when used under the age of majority.
By comparing grade average and the drug and alcohol index score, one can see the exponential relationship occurring. The data is skewed to the right, which means as grades increase, drug and alcohol use decreases. This is because students who do better at school tend to spend less time socializing, where most drug and alcohol use occurs. The R2 value is 0.898. This means that the regression line is fairly accurate, as the closer it is to 1, the more accurate it is. By comparing the grade average and our well-being index score, the data shows a quadratic relationship. A student's mental well-being is significantly lower when they have poor grades. It also shows that students with extremely high grades may also have a lower well-being index score. This is possibly because these individuals are often under high amounts of stress, which can cause higher rates of depression and cause them to have less time to be social. According to the data we collected, we found that the excessive use of mind-altering substances such as alcohol or marijuana can negatively affect the mental well-being and grades of students.